Hello, I got some explaining to do. Let's jump in. As you have all seen, quite promptly, over the last 3 weeks, I have not posted a single run. And I think I can safely say that that can leave you all with the presumption that I stopped running, and you would be correct. The best thing I can say is my legs did indeed fall off. They did. Running every day, doing 3, 4 hikes within that time, working 8-hour shifts, 5 days a week, and being active around that does a physical toll on the body. Especially when you're not taking rest days and you're not being formal around the parts of the runs. When you're trying to get faster every day, you're pushing yourself so much till you find the limit that you reach it and you realize what a limit is. It is a stopping point. It is a barrier block. And I reached that barrier block. I did 24 days. I did not upload the 24th day because I didn't edit it. But I went on another hike with my good friend Victoria. And that hike did me in. I really couldn't feel my legs all too much after that. And I was so physically exhausted. I've been working 6 days a week. The month of July as a whole, I worked 26, 27 days. And my body was done. And so as such, I said, okay, I need to take a rest day. But the problem was I wasn't getting one. I kept having to work, and then I got called in for more work on other days that were supposed to be my days off. And then the times I would try to get sleep, I would have to open the next day. And it just reached a point where this was really hard to get myself to do. And not to mention, I had a bad ingrown toenail that was starting to really hurt every step I took. Not to mention, I think it was clear if you watch any of those, last month was a very difficult month emotionally for me. It's been a very transitional period. And so mentally and physically, I reached a low. And if I tried to continue running, yes, I'm staying motivated. Yes, I'm doing the thing that I need to do. At the same time, I would be pushing my body too much. There does come a point where you have to be smart about this stuff. So as such, this is take 2. I will be adding a guaranteed rest day every week. Will that rest day look like doing nothing, or will it look like a walk? I'm leaning towards the latter. If I go for the walk, will I maybe do 2 days that I walk instead of run? Potentially. But either way, I need to work to ensure that, 1, I get a mile in every day. Dedicated time where I move a mile. That is the intentionality now. It's not strictly to run, it's to get a mile in. I am making that change for the sake of my body and for the sake of my mind and for the sake of being real about this. Because at the end of the day, it's about the discipline more so than it is about just being the fastest you can fucking be. Because at the end of the day, getting faster is not the goal. The goal is to be consistent. And then number 2, it's to really formally commit to this. I put this off the last few weeks, which is much longer than it should have been put off because of how mentally draining it was to let my body get so physically drained that it was so hard to start again. But a few days ago, out of the blue, we had to take my dog to the vet. We found out that she had congestive heart failure, and the next morning she died. This was 2-3 days ago. And this has left me in a point where I am so in limbo. I'm so out of it. I just got out of the deep depression. And I don't feel like I have a choice but to commit to disciplinary acts. And while I've been finally back on projects, finally being active on doing the things that matter the most to me again, I've been putting this thing off. And for my sake, and for the sake of discipline, it's time to get back. It's time to commit and to push on and to keep at it. Also, one of my uncle's reels a few days ago, shorts, specifically used the analogy of a run. If you don't get a mile in, you go 100 paces, yada, yada. I was like, you asshole. So that helped. But primarily I'm grieving really bad right now. And I really want to get back to this. And I need this discipline in my life to get through this grieving time because it's so fucking quiet in my house. And the sound of a treadmill ain't sounding too bad. So, let's get at it. Now today, I don't know exactly how fast I should run. I don't know what a good getting back into it speed is or whatever have you. So we're just going to, I'm thinking just go for a 7:30. Get that in, feel it out, and get the show rightfully back on the road. Shall we dance? Okay. Here we go.
722.
I started at 7.5, ended at 8.9. I couldn't remember when 7:30 was. It was pretty close. I think it's like 7.4. Started 7.3, I think it's like 7:31 or something. So it was pretty close. It's a good starter run. That was a lot, that was tough. My body is not happy with me, but it feels good. It's definitely, the joints are happy that I'm stretching. They're not happy that I'm running, because running is hard. Stretching is hard. It feels really good. For the joints, feels amazing. Running really challenges them. But a 7:22 ain't nothing to scoff at. For coming back. Not anything to scoff at. It's going to take me a little while to get back, I think, into the sub 7. I was very happy to reach that goal before I stopped. I think it was like a good stepping stone. God knows where I would have been right now if I kept going. Could have been farther along, could be way behind. Could have overexerted, but feels good. It's nice to be back. And I want to stick to it. I'm really, really going to try. And just be more patient. And take this as it goes, as it comes. So like today, this was really tough. As a run getting back in, 7:22, a lot to jump back into. So now I have to discern, do we go for the same run tomorrow, or do I try to go a little faster, a little slower? And I have to be the decider of this. I have to be smart about this. I definitely can go faster. You always can. Doesn't mean it's the smartest decision. But I think what's best is tomorrow I go for the same run. Try to do it 2-3 days in a row. And then increment up. And just let this thing take its time. The thing that's going to irk me is I'm going to really want to get back to sub 7 very quickly. I want to be back to where I was ASAP. Because I want to get a faster time. But I have to remember that that's not what this is. It's not about being faster. It's about being disciplined. And this is a phenomenal way, a great metricality to maintain that discipline. But it is not intended to be an obsession. You have to be smart about how you work things into the mental. It's good to stay motivated. It's good to keep at something. It's good to do hard things. But you should not kill yourself and put yourself in an unsafe place to do that discipline to a point that is overboard. Like with cold plunges. Again, the difference between a run and a cold plunge is a cold plunge, you sit down. Your body's not actively moving, it's feeling. And feeling, in my understanding, and perhaps I'm ignorant, but the feeling of discomfort is very different than a physical action. I could be totally off on this, but to me, cold plunging is even more a mental game than running is. Because running, your entire body is active in these motions, in these movements. It's a complete activity. While with cold plunges, your whole body is feeling it, but is not moving along with it. I could be off. I have not cold plunged before. I would love to. I would like to be ignorant in these statements. I would love for my excuses to be as bullshit as I guarantee you they are. Because it's what they are. They are excuses. I don't want to have to accept the fact that I pussied out for 3 weeks. But, nevertheless, this is something I have to be smart about. I have to be smart about. But we're going to keep to the stretches. It feels good. And my body was getting a little unhappy with me. It feels the effects of not stretching after you do it for some time. And that's the thing, man. I went 24 days and there was a lot of change. Like, I looked leaner. I felt better. Even if it reached a point where I passed my limit, it was no longer positive. It was harmful at that point. I have to recognize the benefits of doing this right. And so as such, I'm going to do everything in my power to do this right from here on out. But anywho, thank you all for watching. I hope you will stick around for the journey as we begin it again. Stay motivated, stay at it. Stay hard. I love when my uncle says stay hard. That's so funny to me. And keep at it, man. Rock and roll.